Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Kaiser Report. I'm John. I'm coming to you today with a couple of pieces of information. Nothing earth shaking going on today, other than the mainstream media's scramble to protect Joe Biden and his administration against a lot of the news that's coming out with regard to the economy, number one. It's not what Joe and his administration are telling you it is. And it's obvious now that inflation has increased by a certain percentage that panicked the stock market slightly yesterday and continues today to be wary, investor wary anyway. It may bounce back. There was a sell-off yesterday that came back a little bit. And, of course, gold is right up there at its all-time high, and people are urging you to go out and buy gold. I don't believe that it's the time to buy gold when it's this high. There had been better deals in the past, and that's when you should have probably thought about doing some precious metals. Anyway, the Trump and GOP scramble right now to contain this whole abortion earthquake that Joe is running on, because that's all he has left, because his dismal fray through the economy and the border situation and everything that's come badly against him, he can't campaign on, so he's decided to use abortion as his key to the door to staying in power. And whether or not that's going to work for him, I don't know. I think that Trump and RFK Jr. have made their support or non-support public now, as far as letting the states be in charge. No one is going to cancel anything. And, of course, all of the theories that the Democrats are coming out with now, that if Trump is elected, this one's going to jail and this one will be prosecuted and these people will be forgiven their trespasses, I don't believe is true. And I think that you're all aware of the fact that most of what you hear out of the White House anymore is fabricated. That said, he met with the president or the leader of Japan yesterday, as well as the Philippine person. And, of course, he had his little cheat sheet of notes of who to call on for questions and a pre-scripted talk at the microphone that was lackluster, if anything. No major gaughs there, as he usually does, because in his earpiece, I'm sure they were talking to him, other than the translating that earpiece was in there for. Probably had another voice in there telling him, okay, it's time to leave the stage, or it's time to say this or time to say that, because he's obviously not with it enough to handle these things on his own without his cheat sheets in front of him, especially when he talks to the press, because there are questions and answers on that sheet. They're predetermined questions, and if you haven't figured that out yet, just tune in to anybody here on YouTube or Rumble, and they'll quickly point out to you that it's all scripted. Now it's coming out from inside the White House that they have to give him questions and answers ahead of time, because he's not capable of fielding this on his own without going off on a tangent. It depends on what crowd he talks to. If he's talking to a Greek population, he grew up with Greeks. And if he's talking to a black population, he grew up in a black church. And if he's talking to an Italian population, he lived in an Italian neighborhood. And he just panders to the crowd when he's on his own, and they're trying to rein him in from that. And whether or not they're going to be successful, I don't know. But I fully expect to see a shadow candidate emerge here, and I don't believe that he could hold a stage against either RFK Jr. or Donald Trump in a debate. And they'll quickly keep him out of debates for that reason. And I believe that you all probably understand that by now. But anyway, the other things that are going on yesterday in Congress was the Speaker of the House is a little put out that he didn't get his way yesterday with this FISA renewal because there are certain senators that have common sense and understand that there has to be a clause in that proposed bill that says that you need a warrant to go after an American citizen. You do, and it has to be specific of what they're looking for. Now, a foreign national that's in this country that's suspected of something, I understand that you don't need a warrant for that. But if it's an American citizen, your Fourth Amendment right is to have a warrant to come into your home and look at things or ask you certain questions, or if they're looking for something in particular, it has to be listed on that warrant. And thank God we have some common sense left in Congress today to keep that from going through. The Speaker of the House is, at best, lackluster, and I don't know what his agenda is, but he likes to play to both parties, and we do have a uniparty in there for the most anyway, so we don't know where that's going to go. That and the other fact that over in the Senate, the threat to table the Mayorkas impeachment by Schumer was another travesty. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. The House has not sent it over there as far as I know yet. But this is something that, we can lay all the blame on Mayorkas, but he's just carrying out orders from whoever's behind the curtain in the White House that runs Biden and the rest of that carnival act over there of a cabinet. But it's the same old, folks. We're looking for a couple of days more of rain here in East Tennessee. And sunshine on Saturday and Sunday, so I'm looking forward to maybe getting out. There's a lot of flu going on in this area, and people are a little down in the weather as you talk to more and more people. It's cold season, I guess, because of the rapid change in temperature that we've experienced in the last few weeks has probably propagated some of that, but it seems to be one of these 48-hour things to where it comes and goes. And, of course, allergy season is in full bloom because things are flowering and the trees are blooming. So if you are susceptible to pollen allergies, you're going to suffer a little right now. And the other big fear weather-wise or growing-wise is the cicada, 17-year cicada that's coming. Of course, the media is whipping that up as they whip up everything. The media is scrambling to protect the people in power because they've been good to the media. They and the pharmaceutical companies are going to protect at all costs what you're looking at here politically right up until the election. So again, you cannot trust legacy media because they do have not journalists telling you things. Even Fox, that people used to rely on to be truthful, has a bent for moving things in the direction against the opposing party in some cases. That said, there are some people on Fox that are still carrying a line of truth, and that's, Maria Bartiromo, Sean Hannity, and Dagan McDowell, and several other people are still trying to get the unbroken or unvarnished news to you, so you can make informed decisions on your own. But it's Thursday, and we're looking forward to Friday, tomorrow, at the end of the week, and a happy weekend. I think if I can get out somewhere this weekend with the camera, we'll maybe visit a small town and some mom and pop places there, and bring you what's going on in the Appalachian region anyway. I talked to some people, or listened to some people this morning from California, talking about the woes that they're having with regard to home buying, and commercial real estate having a 75% non-occupancy rate. So people who own these commercial buildings are having a hard time trying to refinance anything, because when they go into a bank with less than 20% occupancy in one of these buildings, the bank will just laugh and say no. People are not renting commercial properties right now. The price of things are skyrocketing. Home prices in California are next to unaffordable. And then on top of that, if you can swing a home buy, then you have taxes and interest rates that will add another $600 or $700 to your monthly payment, and that's hard to swallow for some people. But this is what's going on. The economy is not what they tell you it is. It gets worse by the day. The inflation is increasing. That was evident in the reports that came out yesterday. And last but not least, with the Baltimore bridge collapse, could wipe out the Emergency Federal Highway Fund. And that's something that is a very important fund to have on hand in case we have a highway disaster, or we have to open up roadways or repair roadways. So this Baltimore bridge thing that Biden says, oh, no worry, the government will pay everything, it's going to come out of the Federal Highway Fund, and that's not a good situation. So that's pretty much all I have to bring to you today. I wish you all a very happy Thursday. And of course, I always ask you to please speak to your congressmen and senators about what your likes and dislikes are, and what you expect from them when it comes to voting on some of this nonsense bills that are hurting you. And as I said yesterday, these people in that bill that they tried to push through would be exempt from the FISA rules. So there you go. And with that, there's not a whole lot more to say other than the fact that we love you here at the Kaiser Report, and please subscribe and share this with your friends so we can get a higher viewership. And until then, I'm going to say bye-bye now, and have a great day.